300,000 or thereabouts pro-Palestinian protesters calling for a Gaza ceasefire marched in central London yesterday. It's thought it was the biggest rally since the Israel-Gaza war began.
People attended with children and it was largely peaceful, although dozens of counter-protesters were arrested by the Metropolitan Police for a number of offences.
Right, let's head to three of our reporters across the country. Cameron Walker, Olivia Utley, Dougie Beattie join us now. And let's start with our Royal Correspondent, Cameron Walker, who's at Horse Guards Parade, because obviously with whatever happened yesterday on Armistice Day, today, Cameron, as Remembrance Sunday, is the National Day of Remembrance.
Oh, absolutely, Stephen. And as you can probably imagine, in central London today, there is a lot of security. But at Horse Guards Parade, there is a sense of camaraderie, solidarity and remembrance. Now, I'm joined by two very special people, Alf and Kim Cupper, both veterans themselves. Kim, if we can first start with you. What inspired you to join the army in the first place?
To see the world, to be honest. I joined the WRAC in 1984. And my first posting was out to Germany, so I got what I wanted, and then from then on in started going to different countries and doing lots of exciting things.
Wonderful. And Alf, just tell me the story about how you were reunited with your wife in Iraq in 2003.
Yeah, we were both on Optelic and didn't know that each of us were in the same location at the same time. We deployed from different countries at different times. So walking through a sandstorm with the Padre from 7 Armour Brigade, in the distance I saw someone coming towards me, and it could have been nobody other than Kim. And that was it. We had a 10-minute cup of tea together in Iraq.
Oh, wonderful. And tell me about some of the medals you have on your chest today.
I have the Kosovo medal. I went there with the 21 Sigma Regiment Heliforce, which was absolutely an amazing tour. Northern Ireland, Iraq, the Queen's Jubilee medal. Long service medal, long service and good conduct medal, and continuous service as well.
And both of you have done lots of fundraising for the Royal British Legion. How important is the charity to you both, and why is it important that people across the country support them?
Well, Cameron, the RBL do an amazing job all year round, not just in November. And so what we like to promote is support for the Royal British Legion in everything that they do. You know, this effort that they do this time of year should never go away and should be supported forever.
And you both have children who are serving, don't you? Just tell me about your two sons and what your daughter would hope to do.
So we've got 5 children altogether, 3 of which have served, 2 are still serving, and both are in the Royal Artillery. And our daughter, Molly, aged 15, is hoping to be a police officer and was a Gloucestershire police cadet.
So a whole family of service. And how important is it for the younger generation to still remember those who have fought and served in the armed forces in the United Kingdom?
I think the sacrifices that have been made by all that have gone before us in longer campaigns, older campaigns and more recent ones is something that needs to be remembered, perhaps taught and never ever wiped away.
Wonderful. Alf, Kim, thank you so much for speaking to us on GB News. Really appreciate it. Well, at 11 o'clock, the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery will be firing their guns to mark the start and the end of the 2-minute silence here in central London.
Yeah, Cameron, it's interesting as well, isn't it? It's the first time in 70-something years that a king will lay a wreath at the Cenotaph.
It's certainly the first time since the king's coronation that a king will be laying a wreath at the Cenotaph. Last year, of course, he was already king. The Queen passed away in September 2022, but this is the first time since his coronation. The king's going to be joined by Her Majesty the Queen, who will be on the balcony of the Foreign Office, who will be accompanied by the Princess of Wales. The Prince of Wales will also be laying a wreath as well, and Queen Camilla's equerry will be laying a wreath on her behalf. Of course, it's very poignant for the whole royal family. The King is Commander-in-Chief of all the armed forces here in the United Kingdom and indeed the other realms and territories where he is head of state. And Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, will be taking the salute at the march past here at Horse Guards Parade following that 2-minute silence for veterans to do their march past in central London.
Cameron, back to you later on. Thank you. Let's talk to our political correspondent, Olivia Utley, who's in Westminster. A very big day for the royal family, very big day for politicians as well, actually, and hopefully putting on a united front.
Well, absolutely. And yesterday I was out and about in central London all day reporting on what was going on. And on the whole, the Metropolitan Police were proved right. It was a peaceful day. I was standing by the Cenotaph for the 2-minute silence and you couldn't have heard a pin drop. There were some counter-protests. There were some far-right thugs. And then much later in the day, there was definitely some violence from the pro-Palestinian protesters as well. But the police did a very good job of keeping the two marches away from each other. Mark Rowley, the Commissioner of the Met, will be breathing a big sigh of relief today, and so will Rishi Sunak and Suella Braverman. It'll be really interesting to see the way that Rishi Sunak behaves this morning. He will be there at the Cenotaph. And of course, he has had a very, very difficult week. Just a couple of days ago, we were all expecting him to sack his own Home Secretary. And there's still huge pressure on him to do something about that notorious article that Suella Braverman wrote in the Times, where she appeared to pretty blatantly criticise the Met Police. But as you say, today is a day for pushing on at least a show of solidarity. And we'll see the leader of the opposition there, as well as the Prime Minister and other senior figureheads. Let's hope today passes off without incident and we have a few more dignified scenes than we saw yesterday evening.
Absolutely. Olivia, thanks very much indeed. Right, let's go to Dougie now, our Northern Ireland reporter, who was at the Cenotaph in Belfast yesterday. I think that's where you are now as well, isn't it?
No, welcome to the southwest of the province. I'm actually in the town of Enniskillen. Enniskillen's known for having huge military history. Most of the young men that came from here served with the Enniskillen Fusiliers, and it was towns like this the whole way through the United Kingdom during the First World War that men were brought from. If you go to small towns outside Glasgow, they serve with the Black Watch. Then you have the Yorkshire regiments, and then of course in Northumberland their regiments were known as the Fighting Fist, and these towns lost many men then, so remembrance in these places was particularly poignant, I suppose. But this particular war memorial here holds some very sad history. In 1987, the IRA put a bomb here and it exploded, killing 12 people and injuring 63, and that is still felt right up till today. So later on this morning, it will be attended by many dignitaries, including the Secretary of State, and the Irish Taoiseach will be here, along with our own Baroness Foster, who will get along with proceedings here and spur time to remember not only the dead of the First and Second World War and other conflicts, but also those who lost their lives here in 1987 because of an IRA bomb.
Yeah, indeed. Dougie. OK,
Absolutely.
for now, thanks very much.